Hello and welcome to this video. In this video, we are gonna draw up how to wire up a stratocaster. Now, what you're gonna need is 3 pickups. Stratocasters usually come with 3 single coil pickups, so you're gonna need 3 pickups. You obviously, if you want to do something else, can use humbuckers, for example. Sometimes you see Stratocasters with a humbucker in the bridge, but if you want to do, for example, a humbucker in the neck, you can do that. But for this video, we're going to talk about 3 single coils. Sometimes you also have more wires than just 2, and you have a lead and a ground. That's what we're going to focus on in this basic Stratocaster video. But if you have more and you still want to follow along, make sure you look at the papers that come with your pickup and figure out which one is the lead and which one is the ground. Usually it's a colored wire, red or yellow, something like that, maybe white. That is the lead, and you have something darker like black or sometimes a bare wire, and that's your ground. You're also going to need 3 pots. They look like this or something similar, and for this video, when I draw it, I'm going to draw it from the back like this. So the way you see it is like this. I hope you understand what I mean, but everything I draw is from the back. So this will be the first leg, and this will be the last leg, or the third leg. You're going to need a output jack. They look like this, and they have 2 connectors here for your wires. And if you look at this, you can see the middle has a silver ring here. That's the ground, and as you can see, it's connected to this leg. So that's where the ground wire is going to get connected, and this leg is connected to this arm that sticks up here. And when you press in a cable like this one, you'll see how it gets connected. The tip is lead and goes around here, so that's where the lead goes. And the shaft or sleeve here is getting connected to the ring in the inner here, and it's connected to this here. So that's your ground. Top or tip is lead and the sleeve is ground. You have a black thing to separate them. The next thing you're going to need for this one is a 5-way switch. Now, I'm holding a switch here, but this is just to show you that you need a switch. This is not the correct switch. It's just to show you that you need a switch. You will also need for this one 2 capacitors. This is just a capacitor I'm showing you to represent a capacitor. It's not the actual capacitor you're going to need. And I like to have 2 capacitors because then I can experiment with finding the perfect capacitor for my neck and the perfect capacitor for my middle pickup. You can, if you want to, use 1, but in this one we're going to use 2. Okay, so let's start drawing. You will have 3 pickups. I'll draw them up here like this, something like that. And this will be your neck pickup, this will be your middle pickup, and this will be your bridge pickup. I'm writing it just so that you know. And they will have ground wires, all of them, and they will have lead wires, all of them. You will have a 5-way switch down here. I'm just going to draw it as a box. I'm going to make a separate video on switches because there are a couple of different kinds of switches, and if I just talk about one in this video, then some of you will not be able to follow along because you'll be like, you're not showing me how to wire up the correct switch for the kind of wiring I'm doing. So there will be later, I haven't filmed it as of recording this, but there will be a video soon about the different kinds of switches, and so you will be able to match up the wiring of this video with that switch. So look for that. The way a switch works, anyway, is that you have a pull like this. So when it's in the neck, the opposite is there, like that. I hope you understand what I mean. So the neck will be drawn to the last, and the middle will be drawn to the middle, and the bridge will be drawn to the first. You see how they crisscross? That's what I mean. The switch is sort of pulling. That's what a mechanical switch will do. And then you will have 3 pots, something like this. I'll redraw that one a little bit bigger. And they all have 3 legs, something like this. And all of the ground wires will be connected to the back of the pot, like this. And that means, if you look at this pot, the actual back of the pot, the enclosure, so not of the legs. And then you will have a ground wire connecting all of the 3 pots together. And you will have a ground wire going to the claw or the bridge. If you have a hardtail, you will have to drill a little hole to your bridge. If you have a tremolo, you will have a hole going to the back of the guitar where you have a little claw holding the springs. But you need to have a ground wire, and there it is. Now, depending on what switches you have, you might have a ground wire going to this switch as well. Check for a ground connection on your switch. We'll talk more in the video about switches. Some you don't need it because it's optional, but I'm drawing it out just so that you know. The switch will have connections for the pots as well. And so you will have two connections here, one that goes there and one that goes there. I'm drawing them with green because I hope that will make sense. I hope you can see them. And that's just because of how the switch works. And you can switch them around, but you will have one that will connect it at the same time as the neck and one that will connect it at the same time as the middle. And that's usually it is. But if you want to, you can switch one around because there usually is a connection for the bridge, just nothing connected there. So if you want to, you could switch one of them around and maybe not have a tone for the middle, or you could have one for both. Next thing we will do is we will put our capacitor in between the middle leg and the back. So basically this leg here, third leg, is connected to the switch, and the middle leg here is the two legs of the capacitor, and they're just bridging between one leg on the leg and one leg on the back. Just connected the two of them. And you'll do the same thing on both. And this is what I mean. You can find different capacitors that work differently and that lets you have the perfect one for the pickup. You can, if you want to, wire up one for both, but you don't necessarily need to do it that way. We also need to bridge one leg to the back. And the way you can do this, there are two ways you can do it. You can either bend the leg back like this and solder it in place. Just bend the leg physically like so, and then put them together with solder. But if you're not comfortable with that because you feel like maybe the leg will break or something, then you can actually just put a little jumper cable in between. Either way works. The only thing you need is connection between the back of the pot and the leg. That's what I've drawn out there. You will also have the input jack or output jack, and it's right here. And you'll have a ground wire going, so everything is ground off. You will have a lead, and we go into the volumes middle leg. Let me write out. This is volume, and these two are the tones. And we're just taking it to the middle leg right there. The last thing we need to do is you will have an out from the switch going to the in of the volume. So we will use the first leg on the pot for that, or third leg, sorry, for that. This is super easy. There are special things you can do to this to change things around, but this is the basics. I hope this helps. Let me know in the comments below. If you have any questions about wiring up a Stratocaster, you can talk to me in the comments below. If you have any capacitors that you like in your Stratocasters or that you like in your guitars, please let me know in the comments below so that you can help anyone else who is also maybe looking for the right capacitors for their tone. I'm always happy when you guys help each other out and you're giving each other good advice. So please do so. I appreciate it. That's it. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you like this. Let me know also if it's a good idea to show you how everything works by drawing it out. It's something that I'm experimenting on the channel right now, and I appreciate if you guys let me know if this is good, because I'm thinking of making more videos later down the line on some more non-standard wiring that maybe will be good to do in a drawing situation instead of a actual wiring. I have videos on how to wire up this where I'm actually doing the wiring and not just drawing it out, but I'm thinking some people learn by drawings and some people learn by watching, and either way, let me know if this is a good way to show you how to wire things up. And if it is, we will continue. If it's not, we'll stop. But anyway, until next time, stay awesome and cool, and go and wire up your Stratocaster so you can make amazing music and play a bunch of awesome songs so we can all hear a bunch of amazing music. I know you can do it, and you should know you can do it too. Anyway, bye for now.